Hi comadres, ¿cómo están? Chiquititas hermosas. That feels so good to say. It's been a whole month since I was gone. I showed you guys my labor and delivery video before this, and that video was filmed on May 19 and it is currently June 27, so more than a month that I've been gone, pero las extraño tanto. So welcome back. I don't know if you guys should be welcoming me back or I should be welcoming you guys back to my life. Let's just welcome each other back to each other's life, porque I know you guys miss me and I miss you guys so much. Ya está bien grande, my baby. He looks so different than when he was like a newborn. Ahorita ya está bien gordito, bien cachetón. He fits in 0 to 3 months now, and I'm just like, how are you growing so quick? Siento que este mes voló tan rápido. Ya quiero que conozcan a mi niño porque ya se ve bien diferente, my baby. But honestly, guys, I really needed that break. I know it was a long break, but for me, it was a really much needed break because I feel like the adjustment was really hard. Like adjusting to a new member of family was really hard for me, for everybody, for Catalina especially. I feel like it was really hard for the adjustment of Catalina, which made it hard for me. Porque miraba a Catalina y ella no estaba acostumbrada y eso me daba tristeza, me hizo bien difícil, pero siento que ya siento que un mes ha pasado, creo que ya sé más o menos qué hacer, qué no hacer, y siento que también Catalina ya está acostumbrándose a su hermano, ya no puede estar sin él. Cada vez que no lo ve por un segundo está diciendo bebé, 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 ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está? So like yo creo que ella ya está como que ok, aquí está mi hermano y aquí ya se va a quedar para siempre. Like I feel like she already gets it, and it makes me so much more calmer and it makes me feel like okay, I got this, girl. Like I feel like a lot has happened. I'm just like I don't even know, girl, what to say. Pero my baby was born on May 19. He was born around 11:49, so almost the 20th of May, but I couldn't believe that my induction was that quick. I feel like it was super quick. I was in labor for like 5 hours, comadres. Okay, story time de my labor and delivery, because I feel like in my labor and delivery I didn't explain anything, and when I tried to explain what was happening, what were they doing, I failed. Like I did not know what I was talking about. I feel like I was like gibbering, but it's because I was so nervous. When I got to the hospital, estaba tan nerviosa. Nunca en mi vida siento que he estado tan nerviosa y tenía miedo porque me iban a inducir. No sabía qué me iban a hacer, no sabía cómo iba a ser el proceso. So no, llegué bien nerviosa. Y después cuando me pusieron the IVs, like you guys saw, I was more nervous. Like my palms were sweating. Me empecé a rascar porque estaba bien nerviosa. So I did not explain anything. So I'm gonna try to explain here, but I'm really bad at explaining. I hate doing story times, but I'm gonna try while I feed my baby right here. So llegamos ahí a las 11 y no me atendieron hasta como a las 12. They were like, okay, we're gonna do an IV so we could start your medication, your Pitocin. I was like, okay, that's fine. A mí siempre me han dado miedo las agujas, pero todavía las hago, no, que if I have to get my blood drawn, or si tengo que dar, si me tienen que picar, like, me da miedo y me da nervios, pero todavía me aguanto y lo hago, ¿verdad? Pero llegó la enfermera y me empezó, dijo, okay, I'm going to do IV. I was like, okay, that's fine. I just like looked the other way y me amarran la mano y me empiezan a encontrar la vena, y ahí estaba buscando y buscando mi vena y no me hallaba la vena. Y ya después que me la halló, dijo, ok, ya la hallé, y me picó y no la halló. Dijo, ay, perdón, es que ahí la miré, pero ya cuando metí la aguja ya no la hallé. No sé, ok, voy a tratar otra vez. Y otra vez me picó y no la halló. Y luego la tercera vez me picó otra vez y no la halló. La tercera vez cuando me picó, me empezó a mover la aguja dentro de mi piel y yo y como, oh, ya me empecé a sudar. Y dijo, no la hallo, perdón, o sea, it's okay, nomás, por favor, otra persona, ya no quiero que tú lo hagas. Voy a ir a encontrar otra enfermera que te halle la vena. En la, okay. Y llegó la otra enfermera y dijo, ¿qué está pasando? Y la enfermera le dijo, es que está bien nerviosa y está muy tensa, que cuando le meto la aguja se explotan las venas. And I'm like, I'm trying not to be nervous, like I'm trying to be as calm as I can, and I couldn't. Y ella dijo, ok, déjame tratar. Y me picaron, de primero me estaban picando aquí en la mano, pero después me empezaron a picar acá enfrente. Y esta segunda enfermera trató 2 veces y cada vez que metía la aguja, movía la aguja dentro de mi mano para que no se explote la vena, pero explotaban. Y llegó otra enfermera, fueron a la otra mano a ver si en la otra mano hallaban la vena y nada. Y le dije, ya no quiero enfermeras, tráiganme a alguien que, como un especialista. Y ya empecé a llorar, como estaba chillando, empecé a panicar y le dije, ya no quiero, ya no quiero. Y dijo, no, déjanos tratar otra vez. Ya no. And I started like freaking out. I had a panic attack. Empecé como hyperventilate, and I was like, no, just like give me time, and I like kicked him out of the room because I could not. I was like panicking because it hurt so bad. Like I feel like that hurts so much worse. And finally, I think it was 6 or 7 pokes that they did. They finally did the IV. It took 5 hours for them to finally put an IV in me, and I was already so exhausted, so in so much pain because of the IV. But I was excited that they were gonna finally start the process because we were there for such a long time already. So el segundo proceso que me hicieron es, me pusieron un globo abajo, adentro. Y ese globo lo que te hace es que te hace abrir. So, cuando yo entré al hospital, I was 2 centimeters dilated. Y ya después me pusieron el globo. Y el globo te hace que te abras 4. El globo puede durar muchas horas o bien poquito. A mí me duró 1 hora. Después de 1 hora se salió el globo y estaba bien feliz. I was like, oh my god, I thought it was going to take for so long, but it didn't. It only took an hour. And after the hour, the globo se cayó, and it felt so weird. Like it was like a weird sensation. Sintiendo el globo que se salió, se sentía como una sensación bien rara. But I called my nurse and I was like, oh my god, I think the balloon fell. And they checked me like, oh my god, yeah. Y lo miré y sí, I was like, that was really quick. Like, and then they started Pitocin. They started at a really low doses for me, and they're like, we're gonna start upping your dose as we see more progress, or if you need it. If you don't need it, then we're just gonna keep you on the low doses. I was like, that's fine. So we started Pitocin, and I started feeling the contractions, and they were getting really intense, but I was trying pero me estaba aguantando las contracciones porque I didn't want to get the epidural too soon, because I felt like if I got it too soon, then maybe it wasn't going to work later on when I was able to push. I was like, I'm going to try to, a ver cuánto aguanto. So aguanté como unas 2 horas. I asked for the epidural. Vino el doctor, me puso el epidural, and as soon as he left, the nurse was right there because the doctor had just left. And then I looked at the nurse, I was like, I think I'm peeing. And she was like, are you sure you're peeing, or did your water broke? I was like, I don't know, I'm peeing, but I can't control it. Like, I want to stop peeing, but I can't. She's like, then that means your water broke. Let me check. So me checó a ver si de verdad se me quebró la fuente. And she's like, yeah, sí te quebró, se te está quebrando despacito, pero sí se está quebrando. And I was like, okay. Cuando se me levantó la fuente, the epidural started kicking in, and I stopped feeling the contractions. But when my water broke, I started feeling the worst pressure down there in my life. Like, the pressure was so intense, and I kept telling the doctor, but can you put more epidural? Like, I'm feeling so much pressure and it hurts so bad. She's like, the epidural is not gonna take the pressure away. Like, that pressure is there for you to feel when you're able to start pushing. I'm like, honestly, estaba confundida porque I was like, tengo el epidural, pero todavía estoy sintiendo tanto dolor de la presión. What? I thought the epidural was supposed to like take off all the pain. And she's like, no, el epidural nomás se quita el dolor de la panza, pero todavía vas a sentir todo lo de abajo. De la vagina abajo vas a sentir todo dolor, pero de la panza arriba ya no vas a sentir nada porque las contracciones están como en la panza. And I'm like, what? So voy a sentir este dolor hasta que empuje a mi bebé. And they're like, sí, es porque eso es para que sepas cuándo es tiempo para empezar a empujar. I'm like, girl, you kidding me, girl? And honestly, the time was going by so fast. Like, todo estaba así, de una cosa al otro, estaba pasando así, bien rápido. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even have time to breathe when it was already time to start pushing. Porque as soon as my water broke, creo que pasaron como unas 2 o 3 horas, y con una presión tan feo. She started putting the bed in a position of sitting down like completely. So I was like completely sitting down and I was not laying flat, because I feel like when I was laying flat on my back, I could feel the pressure way more intense. So when I was the bed was all the way sitting down and my knees were like super high, like if I was like squatting, and I could feel the pressure but not as intense. And then all of a sudden the pressure started getting super intense. And I asked her, I was like, the pressure is so intense. She's like, are you sure? I was like, yes. Like, I just checked you and you were 8 centimeters. I was like, yes, but it's so bad. It's so bad. I want to poop. I kept telling like, I want to poop. I want to poop. And she's like, okay, let me check you one more time. And then she checked and I was already 10 centimeters. And then she started calling on the radio. She said, okay, you're going into labor. Let's do a test run of pushing. And then the doctors are going to come. And I was like, okay. And I pushed one time. She made me push one time and she's like, okay, stop pushing. Do not push anymore, because if you push one more time, the baby's gonna come out. I could see his hair. And I was like, what? What? I was like in shock, porque yo pensé que yo iba a durar ahí en el hospital como 3 días, porque induction is so like not planned. Like you don't know what you're going into. You could be there for an hour and you could give birth in an hour, you could give birth in 3 days or in 2 days. Like you just don't know. So I was like, I'm gonna be here in 3 days. But no, girl, I was only there for not even a whole day. And then when she started seeing the hair, she's like, who's a red hair in your family? I was like, what? He has red hair? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, I'm just kidding. He has really black hair. But she was always joking with me and laughing with me and making me feel so comfortable, honestly. I really needed it because I was really nervous, and she just made me feel really comfortable. Gracias a Dios that this enfermera estaba ahí conmigo. Because con Catalina, when I had my first daughter, I had a nurse that I was not comfortable with. And I feel like my labor with her was really hard because I was not comfortable with my nurse. But with this nurse, I felt really comfortable with her. She started calling the doctor. Y yes, pues rápido vinieron los doctores, las enfermeras, vinieron un montón de gente. And they were like entrando, platicando como si nada, like happy birthday. Today we're gonna have a birthday party. Like ellos andaban como in a really good mood, and it was 11 in the night, and they were just like, it's like so funny to me how the doctors, like, to them it's like a normal day, just doing normal stuff, and to me I'm like in labor with my legs up, and they're like cracking jokes, and I'm just like, okay. Se empezaron a listar, a poner sus guantes y todo, and then it was time to start pushing. Unos minutos antes, mi enfermera me estaba enseñando cómo respirar and how to push, but as soon as they started telling me to push, like I was pushing wrong. Empecé a empujar con la cara, and it was a really big mistake. I pushed like that for 2 times, and you cannot believe cómo quedó mi cara, porque I was putting so much pressure into my face, like I started pushing with my face. Les voy a poner fotos aquí. De primero, even though the nurse me estaba enseñando cómo empujar, cuando llegó el momento de empezar a empujar de verdad, se me olvidó lo que me dijo la enfermera y empecé a empujar con la cara. Empecé a empujar con la cara y con todo lo de arriba, y no estaba empujando con lo de abajo. Y me empezaron a decir, empuja como si te vas a hacer popó. And I'm like, I was nervous because I did not want to go poop. Like I felt so nervous I was going to poop, because en la mañana comí McDonald's for breakfast. So girl, that was a mistake, because when they told me to push like I was going to poop, I was scared I was actually going to poop. And I was like, no, I didn't want to. Like, I really didn't want to. Like, just do it. And I was like, what if I do poop? They're like, it doesn't matter. We'll clean it. We don't care. And I was like, okay. And I started pushing. I pushed 3 times the correct way y salió. Cuando empujé la última vez, estaba saliendo bien rápido y me empezaron a gritar, espérate, no, ya no empujes, no empujes. El cordón estaba en su cuello y si empujaba otra vez iba a salir y se iba a atorar más feo. So me dijeron, para de empujar, y paré y le quitaron el cordón rápido y ya me lo dieron. Cuando él salió, lo pusieron así para arriba y empezó a llorar, y era como si otra vez nació Catalina. Like, toda la cara de Catalina era el niño, like, la mismita cara. And it was like, me quedé in shock. Like, cuando lo vi, I was like, I was in total shock. It was like weird. I feel like I was giving birth again to Catalina. I was like, what ¿dónde estoy? And cuando me lo pusieron y estaba llorando, like, era el sentimiento tan hermoso. I was like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. I have another baby. Like, todo el embarazo siento que estaba en shock, que no me daba cuenta que iba a tener otro baby, even though I knew physically and everything, but mentally, I feel like it didn't click until me lo pusieron on my chest, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I want to give birth 1,000 more times. Not really, but like when you, that feeling of them putting your newborn on your chest, there's no better feeling than that. Y cuando están llorando, you're like, oh my God, like, y todos empezaron a decirle, happy birthday, Isael. Happy birthday, Isael. My little baby. So, this is Isael, comadres. Ay, mi bebé está dormido. Ay, 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 ay. I'm so happy you guys get to meet my baby. Cuando Isael nació, se parecía igualito a Catalina. Pero ahora, ya que tiene un mes Isael, siento que ya no se parece nada a Catalina. Unas veces siento que se parece y otras veces siento que no se parecen nada. Siento que Catalina se parece mucho a Rogelio y Isael se parece más a mí. Y mucha gente siempre cuando lo miran digo, él se parece a ti. Pero está bien gordito mi bebé. Está bien dormido. Y nació con tanto pelo. The smell of newborn. There's no better smell than this. Ahorita ya pesa las 10 libras. This is my Isael. En inglés se pronuncia Isael. Isael. Yo ni sabía cómo se pronunciaba en inglés hasta que las doctoras me dijeron, oh, Isael. And I'm like, Isael. Porque a mí me gusta cómo se suena en español. Isael, Isael. Pero en inglés I'm like, Isael. Who's that? But that's it, comadres. I was in labor for 5 hours. And at the end, let me tell you guys, my induction wasn't bad at all. I honestly thought it was pretty perfect. And to think that I was so nervous, imagine if I wasn't nervous, then I feel like it would be the perfect labor. But I was so nervous that I made myself freak out. I had a successful induction. So if you're gonna be induced, don't be scared, comadres. It's not always bad. I know a lot of people talk about induction being super scary and like all these things could happen. But my induction was easier and faster than my natural birth that I had with my first baby. Soy tan agradecida con Dios que I had a very successful induction. And that my baby boy is perfectly healthy and beautiful. So ya pasó todo un mes con mi bebé. So I've been a mom of 2 for a whole month. Y de principio era tan difícil y sentía que me iba a volver loca porque decía, ¿cómo voy a hacer esto? Like, this is so hard. But honestly, now that a month has passed, it's not as hard as it was. And I feel like it was hard in the beginning just because we were adjusting. But now that it's been a month, I feel like I've adjusted and Catalina has adjusted. Like, now she knows that this is her brother, that this is her baby, and she does not want to go anywhere else that her baby doesn't go. And don't get me wrong, sometimes she still is like, put him down, ven conmigo. She tries to like take care of him, and she like tries to play with him and make him her little baby y jugar como si fuera su bebé. Siempre lo quiere estar tapando, poniéndole su chupón, dándole la teta. So that makes me so much more happier, makes me feel like a relief has like gotten off my shoulders. And now I feel like I could finally enjoy Isael. So now that I have like a routine with both of my babies, I feel so much better, comadres. So now I feel like I'm able to juggle more things than just being a mom, because now I have a routine. So now I'm able to start vlogging and actually enjoy vlogging, because I feel like in the beginning I was trying to record and trying to work at the same time that I was trying to adjust, and I just couldn't do it. That's why I stopped completely and I didn't do it for a whole month. But now I started again, and I'm starting to enjoy it and see it as a hobby again, and not just like something like I have to do it because it's my work, you know. And I feel like I took off that month, and that month was like a perfect time for me. So welcome back, comadres, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy for you guys to come into this journey of a mom of 2 babies under 2. And thank you guys for being so patient, comadres. Y aquí las voy a dejar por este video. Las quiero mucho y las veo en el próximo video. Bye.